Hey, here's Skyforge 25 again. I'm gonna do a quick overview of the class called Warlock or Witch. So the introduction is gonna contain the role, the tier, the strong points, the weaknesses, the bugs in our current version, and skill descriptions. So we start off with the role of the Witch. A Witch is a ranged DPS class with dots and a high burst ability. It has lots of CC, high mobility, and can have lots of sustainability if you build for it. The tier in PvP, I would rank it rank 7s behind Archer, Slayer, Berserker, Lightbind, Alchemist, and Knight. And then the strong points. The strong points are 1 to 3 minute adventures. You can speedrun all the adventures a lot faster than any other class possibly can. For example, the Berserker or Kinetic would be slower. Then we do have the raids, which you unlock at 36,000 prestige, called Operation Isabella. You have a strong point there because of your volatile curse. It's a shield you apply on the boss target. The higher the HP, the higher the shield is. Why is it that good? It's because Berserker do triple damage against shields, so you amplify the damage of your main damage class in raids. Other strong point is invasions. You unlock them at the same time. Invasions need some coordination of the group. You need lots of CC, so that's another strong point of the Witch. Then you have distortions at 67,000 prestige. You get the same reason as for the raids, high burst abilities, amplifying the damage of your teammates, stuff like that. The weak point of the Witch is pretty much group dungeons. As for the current prestige, I'm at 20k. The reason for that is because it's not a long fight, so you are not able to gain that much resources back. It's not a short fight where you can just burst down the target. So you have a middle range fight where you have barely any time to regain resources, so your damage just drops fairly hard compared to other classes. And yeah, like Kinetic, Berserker, Slayer would be stronger for group dungeons as for now. Of course it depends on your group composition, but that's the general idea, the general rule. Then we have bugs. Current bugs with the Witch is, for example, you have Volatile Curse, mentioned before, the shield in the raids, very strong. Downside is you crash random amounts of people. It can happen randomly, it depends on the combination of skills being used on the shield and how fast you burst down the shield. Then you have another bug with Taint. If you charge your Taint up to, if you fully charge it for example, and then spread it wide away with your right mouse button, it will not spread to the other targets around it. So it's easily worked around if you use for example Murder of Crows beforehand, or if you just wait a second. That works for PvE. For PvP sadly it does work most of the times not, so Taint is better applied one by one and then being spread. Also it's faster anyways. And the last bug that is, or one of the last bugs that's noticeable, is line of sight bugs. If you apply Murder of Crows or Explosion of Darkness, which is your single target burst ability, just before the person gets out of range or out of sight, you will get the skills on cooldown. You will not use your resources, but you cannot reuse the skill till the cooldown is down. And the last bug is, for example, Transformation. Transformation has a few bugs with dueling. I haven't figured out how to reproduce it yet. It's just able to transform someone permanently till he switches areas. And in 3 vs 3 arena, if you have the Knight for example, he is immune to CC above 70% of his HP. If you CC him, if you transform him at 50% HP and he uses the heal potion in the same moment, he will be a chick until the end of the PvP match, so after whatever team wins 5 rounds. So that's the basic bugs that are with the Witch currently there. So then we get to the skills. You have Taint. Taint is your basic ability. You apply dots. You apply 1 stack at a time. Usually you want to do that because of the bug I mentioned before. Every time you apply the dot, it refreshes the time to 10 seconds. You can stack it up to 3 times. You can use your right mouse button, Epidemic, to spread the Taint. Also, your Epidemic does spread the Aging, which is your slow ability on number 3, and it increases the range of Murder of Crows. or crows, sorry. What it does about taint is it cannot spread the taint to more than 8 targets. 8 is the current maximum. Also, if you already spread one taint, you cannot reapply the taint. So if you, let's say, apply one stack of taint to a target, and then apply a second or third to the same target with the same taint, and you want to spread it again, it will not work. So all the targets around it will only have one stack of the taint. So you want to first apply three taint stacks and then spread it. If by any chance the targets around it didn't get the taint, you have to burst the taint down first with either Explosion of Darkness or Extermination, reapply the taint and then spread it again, or yeah, the creatures around it will have no taint at all. Then you have one, it's Transform. Transforms yourself into your damage stance, your burst stance pretty much. Then you have on number 2 Murder of Crows. It's an AoE following a person. I will shortly demonstrate that. You can accept, Chris.
Yes.
If he ever accepts. There we go. Yeah, just move around. So it's an 8-second AoE that follows the target. You can increase the size, as mentioned before with Epidemic. It's quite a lot of size that you regain, or increase it by. Then you have number 3, it's a slow, it's a progressing slow. It can have up to 9 stacks. It lasts for 7 seconds. At 3 seconds it will be maxed at 9 stacks, and then it just runs out. Number 4 is it's called Dark Ritual. It's your only resource regain skill. It lasts for 5 seconds, restores 90 resources per second. Combined with the offhand, you can reduce or mitigate damage by 66% over the duration of Dark Ritual. Let's see if I have the offhand here. By 60%, sorry. And CC effects by 67%. So that's a very, very strong damage mitigation ability, and useful for PvP and PvE to just block strong attacks, incoming strong attacks. Then you have your next skill is Bewitch. It's a charm, it's 2 lines in front of you, you see it here. It lasts for 4 seconds in PvP, or you can talent it for another additional 4 seconds in PvE. The good side about it is CC immunity mostly doesn't work, so if a Berserker, for example, he can leap out of mobility skills and be CC immune. It doesn't work against Charm, so that's a very effective way against Berserkers in PvP. What it does not work on is invulnerability, for example. Then you have Envoys of Taint. Envoys of Taint is a single target damage ability. It is an instant cast. It can stack up to 6 crows. It's pretty much one crow does 500 to 1800 damage right now for me. They come available after a duration of time. It says usually around 5 seconds it gets reapplied. Once you start the combat, it will open up, it will pop up the E button, and then you can target it. If you lose target, they will not follow the target anymore. Then you can also apply it manually by pressing the X button, for example. So the E button only pops up if you have 6 stacks. Then you have Evil Eye. It's a debuff for 10 seconds, decreases the damage dealt by the target by 33%, pretty much straightforward. Then you have Black Cats. It's a line that you place in front of you if you don't see the real range. It knocks down the target. A target can run through it, and as soon as it runs through it, it will get knocked down, and if you move to the other side and it follows you, the target, it can be knocked down right away. So if you have slim areas, for example a Western Tower, you can use your offhand, which reduces the cooldown of Black Cat and also increases the time it stays on the ground. And that way you can perma-CC pretty much every creature. You just run from one side to the other and they will follow you and be CC'd the whole time, as you can see here, and then you can already reapply it. That's perma CC right away with one single ability. Then you have Black Panthers. Black Panthers are 3 Panthers, do the same damage as Envoys of Tain, so that's pretty much your PvE ability. That's your PvP ability. It can go up to 3 targets. They usually try to be targeted on separate ones, you cannot aim them. And they do stun the targets. Then you have Ring of Fire. Ring of Fire is it's your pretty much main damage ability in PvE with AoE. It lasts for 8 seconds, has a quite big radius, and important about it is you can animation cancel it. I can just not shortly show it because I don't have it. So if you place it on the ground and you use Extermination or Explosion of Darkness, you will be able to animation cancel it. The other skill is Volatile Curse. Transformation, it puts a shield on a person, so it's only a PvP skill. You use it on a target, he gets transformed to Hex for 7 seconds. He also will get a shield of 5% of his HP, which is why the skill without any talents is useless. You must imagine the target 100,000 HP, that's quite a lot for 20k prestige. He will get a shield of 5,000 HP, so if he runs into any kind of AoE, he will pop the shield and then the CC is gone already. So the CC can be only a 2-second effective CC ability, which is why you don't use this skill in single PvP. If you queue up with 2 other people for 3 vs 3 arena, it can be useful combined with the 2 talents. So what else do we have? We have Killer Crows, which is your spamming ability. You want to combine it with the talent Killer Art of Killing, so it doesn't consume any resources anymore. If you don't use Art of Killing, you cannot use Killer Crows pretty much, because 40 resources at a time is a lot if you spam it. Then you have Explosion of Darkness, your main damage burst single target ability. You use it only if you have 3 stacks applied to a target. Number 2 is pretty much Explosion of Darkness, a weaker version for AoE. Then you have Living Helper, it's a single target channeled cast. You can move, but you cannot dash. You need the talent for it, which is this one, Family Boom, and the offhand that increases Living Helper or Living Assistance, depending on the name which they chose to pick. Else it's not worth it using this skill. Then I'm currently just using Witchfire, I just used it to try something out. It's a wall that moves forward and knockbacks the target if you have the talent spec for it. It's not bad for PvP to keep people away from you, but it's not a necessity and it wastes the talent slot that you might need for different skills. And then you have the ultimate. The ultimate is a large skill in front of you. Accept invite, please. It's a cone kind of thing, or a straight line in front of you. So, cast it shortly, he will get 3 stacks applied and get feared for the whole duration. As soon as you pop it, you could use Explosion of Darkness, and if he runs into the range again, he will get the 3 stacks reapplied. Bad thing about it, it can be cancelled, so while you're doing the little portal where the crows come outside, if you get stunned or anything, you will have the skill on cooldown and not used at all. So, that's about the overview. I hope you enjoyed and follow me on Twitch. See you then.